That's quite a bit more like it. Blue Jays win 6-1 in the middle game of a 3-game set against Boston in Fenway. Felt good about this matchup coming in. You had erstwhile ace Jose Barrios looking for his first real solid start of the year versus Canadian and noted Blue Jay cannon fodder Nick Pivetta for the Red Sox. Yeah, I like that one. Early on though, it's the Uno reverse card. Pivetta cruising through the first, and then Barrios giving up 3 hard-hit balls to the first 3 batters he faces, giving up a run before he's thrown 10 pitches. I was kind of wondering what kind of night I was in store for. Turns out I needn't have worried, as Barrios just kind of says, "Oh, you can hit my fastball? Cool, I got these other pitches, though." And it was pretty much all breaking balls, all night, and the Red Sox couldn't hit it. All night. It was glorious. Meanwhile, in the second inning, the real Nick Pivetta reasserted himself, and it got pretty ugly for him pretty quickly. First of all, with a runner on, Raimel Tapia. What the hell was that? I remember seeing a YouTube video, imagine that, trying to explain how Raimel Tapia is like this secret, untapped power hitter, just waiting for the right hitting coach to teach him, how to hit a fly ball. And the whole thing seemed kind of like nonsense, but then he does something like this. He absolutely gets a hold of one and launches it 400 plus feet in a cold atmosphere where the ball doesn't carry that well. My lord, I didn't even know he could do that. I mean, is it possible that he's got this untapped power potential that, Guillermo Martinez maybe is the guy to kind of make a tweak here, an adjustment there, and all of a sudden, we've got Cedric Mullins on our hands? I still don't really think that's the case, but this got my attention. Anyway, Pivetta wasn't done there. He then proceeds to load the bases to the bottom of the order, bringing up George Springer with nobody out. That's nice. Now, George doesn't do a whole lot of damage getting the sac fly, getting the run home, that's fine. But then, I was saying in the last video that we needed 2 things to start happening. First, we needed the Blue Jays to be able to get hits with runners in scoring position. And 2, we needed Bo Bichette to stop being so ice cold. So what happens in this game? Well, I guess they were watching my last video, and if they weren't, I guess they should have been. Because who comes up with a big clutch hit with runners in scoring position? Why, it's Bo Bichette. How convenient. A well-struck ball down the left field line that could have been stretched to a double if they hadn't conceded both runs to keep Bo to a single. But who cares? Instead of a 3-run, pretty good inning, it's a 5-run, fantastic inning for the Blue Jays, and that's pretty much all the offense they'd need. They would go on to tack on another sac fly, but Boston pretty successfully held them down for the rest of the game. Although they were able to pick on Matt Barnes a little bit with his slow delivery to the plate, they never really threatened to score again. But that's okay because Jose Barrios just got stronger and stronger with that sweeping curveball as the game went along. As we got deeper and deeper in the 4th and 5th innings, he was able to locate that thing right at the bottom of the zone, sweeping from the right side to the left, absolutely eating up Red Sox hitters. It was a sight to behold. And while we're talking about that, I feel like I need to make this point considering how much I ragged on Jeff Nelson a week ago for his awful strike zone. Angel Hernandez is a name that evokes some feelings. He is pretty well known for being an awful umpire. No disrespect to Hernandez's wife and family and all that, but I feel like I'm not telling them anything they haven't heard before. Maybe he's a really good botanist and he carves a mean Thanksgiving turkey, but he ain't no good umpire. But you gotta give credit where credit's due, and this was the best behind-the-plate umpiring performance I've ever seen Angel Hernandez deliver. It was consistent, it was correct, it only stretched out a little bit at the end of the game as, he got a little fatigued and maybe he wanted to move things along a little bit, but on the whole, very consistent, very strong. So big ups, Angel. I didn't think you had it in you. Only other event of note that needs to be talked about is George Springer getting hit in the arm by a pitch. He stayed in the game and was the lead runner on a double play. The very next batter, so he didn't stick around very long. He was then lifted in favor of Bradley Zimmer while he went and got checked out. Early reports out of the game are that his x-rays were negative. He just has a really bad boo-boo, which they call a contusion, but, let's be serious. Anyway, doesn't look like he should miss too much time. Hopefully he's even in the game tomorrow night. That would be a nice breath of relief for us all, I'm sure. Nice bits of relief pitching from Tim Meza and Julian Merriweather, but especially Trevor Richards, who seems to be getting stronger with each appearance. You worry about these guys getting worn down over the span of 20 games in 20 days, which we're right at the beginning of here, but Richards has gotten stronger with each appearance, and it looks like he's gaining power from the tears of his enemies or something. I don't know what's going on there, but I like it. At this point, he's becoming a more and more reliable piece out of the bullpen. It's nice to see. Anyway, the big disappointment from this game is that Zach Collins was not in the lineup despite the fact that he's clearly the best hitter on the team. Lol JK, but he will get the start tomorrow, and that actually does kind of give me a bit of relief, which, That's a journey for me, right? Going from DFA this guy already to he should be batting cleanup. What's wrong with you, Charlie? That's a journey that I made there. Another question I have about this game is what the hell was Nick Pivetta doing in that game for that long? I mean, Pat Tabler was trying to spin a story about how Alex Cora didn't want to burn out his bullpen so early in the season. They've got a long stretch of games without a break as well, and he wanted Pivetta to go out there and soak up some innings. And that all sounds well and good, but man, this division is going to be razor thin. It's going to be on the tightest of margins that teams are going to make the playoffs or not. And I understand that's 6 months away, but if you want to try to save the bullpen, maybe you do that against your Kansas Cities or your Baltimores, not against a division opponent. Now, this was a game that I think Charlie was managing to win. And yes, he had the benefit of a starter that went 6 innings as opposed to, Nick Pivetta. But at the same time, I kind of got the let the train hit you a little bit vibe from Cora in this one. And I just don't agree with that at all. I think that these are the kind of games where you want to try to squeak one out. And I know you were able to do that yesterday, but there's no real reason to lay down on the tracks on this one. Very curious decision. Especially in this ballpark with this lineup that the Red Sox have going. At that point, you were only really down by 3 or 4 runs before the Bichette hit. You really have a chance to come back at that point. What are you doing, kind of just leaving him out there? Anyway, just my take on that. I just thought that was very strange. I don't mind, obviously. I just don't quite know what that was about. Anyway, tomorrow is the rubber match, the big game of the series where we decide how successful this thing really was. Feels okay right now, but I might not feel that way tomorrow. It's Tanner Houck going for the Red Sox, and he kind of gave the Blue Jays problems last year, so we'll see if they've made the adjustment. For the Jays, it's Kevin Gossman looking to continue up a solid build-up from his last start, so it should be a pretty good one. But it's an afternoon game, so it should be warmer, hopefully, question mark? We'll find out. Anyway, last thought I want to bring up is I wonder if Bo Bichette getting this hit with runners in scoring position, something that the team just has simply not been able to do for about 2 weeks now. I'm wondering if this hit that he got today, leading to the win, leading to some feel-good vibes that might start rolling the ball forward a little bit, I wonder if this breaks the dam. I wonder if this is when everybody collectively relaxes and remembers who they are and remembers who their teammates are, too. I really feel that most of the team has been trying to do everything by themselves. A lot of hero ball trying to happen here, and they just don't need to. This is a good club. The guy behind them is pretty good, too. I understand that it's harder to believe that when that guy is Bradley Zimmer, but bear with me here. I hope that this is the beginning of good things. I hope this is when the ball really gets rolling with the offense, because we haven't seen the Toronto Blue Jays offense yet this year, and I really like the Blue Jays offense. I would like to see it now, please. Thanks. Okay, that's it for this one. If you like the channel, if you like the videos, please like and subscribe and all that jazz. I will see you tomorrow afternoon for the final game of this series. Take care.